Hello and welcome, my name is Reef as always, and you're joining me for some more Diablo 3 stuff. So I've been playing around on the PTR with the new Helltooth Set, and I haven't really been using a specific build, just been messing around and such. But if you haven't known by now, the Helltooth Set is really good in 2.3.0. Just quickly going through the items I'm using. I'm using Crafted Devastator, pretty shit raw. Full Helltooth suit set except for the gloves, which I'm using Task and Theo. Braces are Jerome's braces, which are pretty fucking cool. New braces. Wall of Death deals 95% increased damage and can be cast up to 3 times within 2 seconds before the cooldown begins. This is pretty useful braces to have with the Helltooth set. I haven't farmed yet for a Hellfire Amulet, so I'm just using a Squid's necklace with such the Bane of the Powerful in it. Rings a short man's finger with molten wildebeest gizzard, and the other ring is roaring grandeur with an enforcer gem in it. As you can see, none of the gems are really leveled. I'm still busy playing around on PTR with the greater rifts and all that. No really set build as is. Oh yes, and also I'm using a belt of transcendence, which is pretty much a really good belt to have if you're a Witchdoctor, because it opens up a passive slot for you. Skills wise, I'm using Zombie Charger Explosive Beast. This is the fire damage rune for Zombie Charger. Summon an explosive zombie dog that streaks towards the enemy before exploding, dealing 680% weapon damage as far to all enemies within 12 yards. Now, after talking about the skills, a lot of you are going to be wondering why I'm using these skills. I'm just going to show you quickly, after I talked about the skills on the items themselves, why I'm using these specifically. Spirit Walk Jaunt, really good for getting out of trouble and moving around, obviously. Wall of Death Firewall. I thought I would start with a fiery build for once. Razor's Wall of Flame, 40 yards wide for 8 seconds. It burns enemies who walk through, causing them to take 1100% weapon damage as far over 4 seconds. It's a pretty good, cool skill, and I mean, it reminds me of the Wall of Firewall in the first and second Diablo games, which I really enjoyed. Big Bad Voodoo Slam Dance, really good skill as always. Basically 20% increased attack speed, movement speed, and increases damages of the effectiveness by 30%, which is pretty cool. Of all allies by 30%, I mean, which is always really useful. Leeching Beast summon zombie dogs. Mostly using these for the life on hit, for bits of survivability, and Rawful Protector for Gargantuan, because it's fire rune firstly, and secondly it's the best Gargantuan to use always. Passives are Midnight Feast, Swarm Plan Attunement, which is a new one. You and your pets gain 120 physical, poison, fire, and cold distance for every enemy within 20 yards. This is a really good defensive passive to have as a Witchdoctor now in the new patch. Other than that, Tribal Rites, which reduces cooldown of the following skills: Hex, Gargantuan, Fetish Army, Summon, Zombie Dogs, Big Bad Voodoo, Mass Confusion, and Grave Injustice, which is gain 1% of your maximum life and mana and reduces the cooldown of all of your skills by 1 second when an enemy dies within 20 yards. Both of these have their range extended by any items that increase your gold pickup radius, so you could think about using the Thing of the Deep along with them. Because that does increase its pickups in area by 20 yards, which is quite big. But I'm using the Uthcarpian Serpent, which gives me the 27% of the damage you take is redirected to your zombie dogs, which is good for survivability once again. And the reason I'm using these skills, specifically Zombie Charger, Wall of Death, Gargantuan, those things, the bonuses for the new Helltooth set, or the new bonuses for the Helltooth set, are as follows. The 2 set bonuses: enemies hit by your primary skills, Acid Cloud, Firebat, Zombie Charger, Zombie Dogs, Gargantuan, Grasp of the Dead, Piranhas, or Wall of Death are afflicted by necrosis, becoming slowed, taking 1500% weapon damage every second, and taking 20% increased damage from all sources for 10 seconds. This is pretty good. I mean, your skills do more damage. They apply a damage over time effect, which does a decent damage, and it lets them take the things affected 20% more damage. The 4 set bonus is, after applying necrosis to an enemy, you take 50% reduced damage for 10 seconds, which is really good for survivability, obviously. And the 6 set bonus is, after casting Wall of Death, gain 900% increased damage for 15 seconds to your primary skills, Acid Cloud, Firebat, Zombie Charger, Zombie Dogs, Gargantuan, Grasp of the Dead, Piranhas, and Wall of Death. What I do is I use Wall of Death. You'll see I'll have some gameplay after this. I use Wall of Death basically to do damage and get that necrosis up for the survivability and makes things take more damage. And then I also have the Zombie Charger skill, which helps summon fetishes for me, which helps with my cooldown of my Big Bad Voodoo. And it also does increase damage quite a lot, especially when the Convention of Elements is on fire, obviously. And then all of this gets increased along with my Gargantuan. Quick buy note before I forget, actually. Things I have cubed as a passive is the Convention of Elements for that 200% increased damage to single element. So good. Mask of Drum for that pet steal 100% more damage, once again for the Zombie Dogs and the Gargantuan and the fetishes. And Stamina Cookery reduces cooldown of Fetish Army and Big Bad Voodoo by 1 second each time your fetishes deal damage. So once again, I mean, really good item to have, but really rare to pick up outside of PTR. But yeah, let me know what hopes you have for the Helltooth set and what specific build you're going to go with. I've seen a lot of people going with a Zombie Bears build and others just pure Garg build. But it's pretty open. I mean, with this shitty items I have and the Ragtag build I'm currently using, I'm able to do Torment 10. So it's pretty fucking good. Essentially, Witchdoctors are in a pretty decent place for the new season. Not as good place as Monks are, but still pretty decent. Anyway, thanks for watching.
The spirits grant me blessings. Perfect strike. I cannot do that.